Dave brought this in. We have a business card in here. Now, I'm not going to give you his name. I won't give him any free publicity, of course. That's just not something we do. Mm-hmm. But he is from a clothier, and he is a clothier. He is a clothier.
Yeah.
And, well, I'll just give you his name. It's Tom James, okay? And he wrote a letter that was delivered in the mail, and when Dave pulled it out of the envelope, it's all crumpled up. It's all, see that? It's all like it's been balled up. And he says in the letter,
the first line is, in order to save you valuable time, I have pre-crumpled this letter. Before tossing this in the garbage, please use the time I have saved you to read on.
Awesome. That is absolutely brilliant.
That's hilarious.
It really stands out.
That's great marketing of himself. Now, what he does is he comes right to your place of business and sells you nice clothing. So clearly he's been looking at me online.
Well, that could be. I don't know how
he says, you need some better clothes.
Today you're wearing middle school sweatshirt.
That's right.
Looks like field day.
That's right. And I did this specifically. I haven't worn it in a while. It's a Champion long sleeve tee.
Nice.
It does have some crumbs and stains on it.
Yeah, it looks like you're going to be playing kickball later.
Well, I might be. It's possible I will be. And so I wore this today just for a different kind of look, a long sleeve tee.
Praying no one will see you.
That's right. But we're on camera in here, and Tom James wrote that nice letter. And so he all he does is go from place to place. I would think the news organizations, TV, could take him up on that.
I would think so too. I mean, I'd take it to him, but I'm sure he's hit all the places.
Other than television personalities and attorneys,
that's a tough one.
Who dresses up?
Nobody dresses up anymore.
I mean, in quote unquote formal clothing.
Do you think it'll ever swing back? Will some company say, "All right, we're going to wear suits to set ourselves apart," and then that's tough to ask people to do.
I don't see it.
Some businessmen, undertakers.
Yeah, a few. Yeah. I mean, it used to be everybody wore suits.
Everybody,
and the dry cleaners did well, and they.
But men would wear suits to baseball games. I mean, if you look at the old films from 75 years ago, they would wear suits to football games
with the
baseball
hats,
games.
They'd wear a suit to travel in, like to drive 2 hours.
Because there was no
away.
Casual wear.
Sometimes
inmates wore jeans.
I feel like we've gone too casual, and I know that I mean, look, I dress casual.
You carry the flag.
You're at the forefront. You're the tip of the spear.
Yep.
You're right. But I just felt like we looked more buttoned up, more polished way back when people were wearing suits.
Well, and some would say that you feel a lot more positive and energetic and professional when you're dressed professional. If you're wearing slippers and soft pants.
Yeah, you're right.
Like Chris Demm's been doing the past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Then
from home. He was at home.
He was. But it doesn't make you feel as though you're just more casual. You don't have that.
Yeah. Do you think
a little bit of jizz in you?
Would you? You get a little bit of jizz.
A little.
Would you? If we came in here dressed in a suit, do you think it would give us more of an edge? If we started, slacks and a tie and a suit. I mean, TV personalities still do. Even they are a little more casual than they used to be. It used to always be a suit with a tie.
Yeah. Now you see the crummy weather guys not wearing ties. And
right.
stuff.
You see that. Let me tell you. I saw you this past Saturday on television, Dave, and I said to my wife, "Dave looks good on TV." I did. I said, and she said,
"He does not look like that in the studio."
That's exactly what I said. She said, "He does. He looks very buttoned up on TV. Looks very nice." And I said, I see him every day, and he never looks that good in person.
He never impresses me.
You get what you get.
Huh? Not once.
You get what you get.
But on TV, he looks good.
And I wear sport coats. I never wear a suit.
You look great. You got the
tie
tie
I wear
on,
suit's funeral.
But always the tie.
Always a tie.
Yeah.
I feel like a tie is
you
appropriate.
You need it. Anonymous, you're talking about Tom James, clothier. Go ahead.
Yeah, hey, Tom James is a company, not a particular person. It might have been started by a guy named Tom James, but it's across the country definitely. And
right.
I'm a customer. I've been a customer for probably 6 or 8 years, and I mean they come the initial visit. You get your Tom James rep. They come out and measure you, take 20 or 30 measurements, ask you if you wear a watch and a wallet. I mean, real specific stuff about how clothes is going to fit you. And it's not just suits, but it's some casual stuff also. And it fits great.
Maybe I should.
Jeans and T-shirts.
Can we ask what line of work you're in and what do you buy the most?
I'm a physician, and I buy, I don't know, I own probably 5 Tom James suits, and they function not just as suits, but they're sport coats too, because you kind of mix and match. And for me, what was very helpful is I have no idea how to match clothes or to wear clothes, and this guy, my rep, he tells me you wear this with this or that and this, and really, it makes it dummy proof. And I'm an idiot about fashion, and I feel comfortable wearing this stuff.
That's awesome. I like that.
Mm-hmm. That's a satisfied customer.
I'm gonna keep this card.
Okay.
This might be something that I do.
All right.
Get the whole 9 yards, you know?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Flash forward to Christmas. What is this doing on my desk? Kelly tosses.
Yes, the New Year's
card.
The New Year's
Who
clean
the hell
out.
is Tom James?
Yes,
The desk clean out.
What is this? That's
Yes, that is the name of the company.
That's okay, but he did.
Sean was the guy that
I'll tell you what else I want. I saw this advertised on television. They're T-shirts that accentuate the male figure. They're not just one side. They're wider at the top to make you look like you have broad shoulders, and tapered down toward the waist to make you look like a V.
Yes,
and I thought that's what I want.
You want a taper?
Yeah, I want a taper.
They don't hang. They're not tents.
They don't hang on you. All my T-shirts hang.
Well, there are companies out there, and I see them on the gram where they will. You give them your measurements, and they'll send you an outfit every month.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah, women have had those.
Women
My
have
wife
had
had
them, but
joined
they'll
those.
send you the shoes.
She
They'll
does
send
that.
you.
Yeah, you know, they send you like 3 tops,
Yep.
pair of pants, and a dress, and you keep what you want, send back what you don't, and they kind of get a profile for
And
you.
ways to mix and match them.
I'm keeping this card.
Okay.
I'll just tell you that right now. A couple of other
We're not
things
going
here.
back to khaki Kelly.
It's possible.
When BB Shea, when Kelly was your age, he went through a phase where he wore khakis every
I
day.
sure did.
Oh, okay.
I sure did. And it
What
was
happened?
life,
Life
man.
beat him
Yeah,
down.
man. What are you going to say? You're looking at me now.
The office became more casual
It did.
because it was more formal.
When I first started here with suits, all the managers and the sales folks, they all wore suits. Then first it was casual Friday, then the ties went away, and then the jackets went away, and it was just like
Our sales team still dresses
they
up.
do nicely, pretty nicely, I would say. But but not like used to be they were always in suits and ties, and that is that's a pretty tough thing to pull off, I think. But I agree with Chris Tim. I don't ever see it fluctuating back the other way, because once you get into being casual, who's going to go back?
Yeah.
It just doesn't happen.
It is more expensive.
It is. That's right. Costs money too.
And you can't toss those clothes in the washing machine. Those have to be dry
all
cleaned.
true. You got to dry clean, which I feel for the dry cleaning business. Now that we've gotten more, I've always said this. Every
you
time,
have not.
Let me tell you something. Every time I drive by a dry cleaner, I say, "God help
tear.
you." Help you.
But it's dry.
I say, "Help you." I want to help these folks because they just don't have the business they used to have.
Just a little tear starch.
I mean, just lightly starched tear comes down my face. That's
But
right.
you've never been a customer.
No, but I know they don't have as many customers.
But I know they exist.
They're right there on my drive home. I see them all the time.
He probably has a dozen.
Oh,
of
I
them
do.
now.
I do.
that way, yeah.
These poor dry cleaners. Yeah. I want them to have more business. I want to do something for them.
That's a great feeling to pick up your dry cleaning, though.
Oh, yes.
I love that.
Toss
I
it
don't
over
like
your
paying the
shoulder
bill.
jauntily.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
You don't have to do anything. Hang them up next time you wear them. Oof.
And there they are in the plastic.
They are
I
ready
just
to
leave
go.
them
Make
right
sure you
there.
pull the tags out.
Do
You want to be like
they-
Kelly.
Yeah.
Sometimes I leave
The
it.
staple tag.
I'll do that. I'll leave it on there. We have a tennis player in the news today. He is playing in a tournament in France. His name is Alexander Bublik. He was in a close tennis match in the second set, and apparently has a reputation for becoming upset. And at this point, he smashed a racket onto the surface, breaking the racket. And it was like the announcers. Great announcing here. It's like they knew he was going to do it, and they're like, "Okay, here it comes," and he smashes the racket.
Then he goes to the bench to pick up what you think is going to be the next racket for the next point.
He's got like 5 of them laying there. And in fact, one of the announcers said, luckily, he's got more rackets. Now, listen to this. This is where it really gets interesting. There's the first smashing. 5 times he smashed it into the ground. They were counting. Like 5 times he smashed it.
As the crowd whistles its disapproval.
And you heard the smack, smack. Well, now he's going over to get another one from his bench area, and the announcer says, okay, he's got more.
The good news is he's got plenty of other rackets.
Now he's smashing the next one.
Well, that's going to get the treatment as well. 3, 4. Okay.
Next racket. Boom.
Well, this is getting out of hand now.
That gives us a little indication of where his mindset is at.
Spot on.
After that, he only had 2 rackets left.
Does he keep going?
He had 2 left, and then he broke 3 intentionally, and then he had 2 left. He picked one of them. Now, if he breaks a string, you're down to that last one, and you heard them. They're like, well, his mindset.
Well, now I don't watch a lot of tennis, but I do watch the major tournaments. You get penalized for racket abuse.
Mm-hmm. At least, you get a warning.
At least a warning and then a point, and then then it goes up to game. Set and match.
I'll tell you, I had a good feeling once when I used to play tennis. Well, now, by the way, I've seen guys throw pickleball paddles. I've seen, and one guy slammed one against the fence one time and cut his hand. He was bleeding the rest of the time we played. And finally, somebody said, "You got to get a bandage on that or something." I mean,
you're bleeding in the kitchen, bro.
That's a penalty.
Blood in the kitchen.
Blood in the kitchen. When you got, I'm sorry, I'm inside.
Maybe that'll be the title of your book.
Blood in the kitchen.
I think John
Is this a true crime story?
Yeah, blood in the kitchen. If you are playing and let's say you hit a ball and your hat flies into the kitchen, you lose the point. Nothing. Your paddle, your hat, blood goes
shoelace, untied
shoelace, anything in the kitchen, you lose the point if you're not supposed to be. And you hit the ball when you're in there. You cannot do that. In fact, I had someone against me. He was very honest, but I didn't know. He hit a ball and he was so hot. The paddle flew out of his hand. It was sweaty. Went into the kitchen. He said, "I think that's a violation." And we had a rules official come over, and they said, "Yes, that's a."
They pull up in a golf cart.
That is a.
What's going on here? He dropped his sweaty paddle. Oh no!
Yeah, I got a guy over here on court 17. He's says something about sweaty palms.
That is an NVC violation.
What if your knee brace pops off and lands?
That's a violation.
What if your knee pops off?
That's a violation. That's a violation.
We got a hip in the kitchen.
You sling blood in the kitchen? That's a violation. So you're right. This guy's smashing his tennis.
We got to learn to use the resin.
Here's a few other things. This is sports related as well. I mentioned Fred Warner's wife the other day. Apropos of nothing, I had seen her. Fred Warner is a defensive player for the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah.
She does a TikTok. I don't know why it comes up in my algorithm, but it does. And she's very attractive. And her thing is, every time she talks on TikTok, she's talking about football, but she's applying makeup at the same time. So she'll go through a whole 4 or 5 minute thing, and by the end her face is done and she's told you a lot about football. The other day she was complaining about Eagles fans treating her poorly at the game. Today she just did some behind the scenes of a football game. Like, you don't realize this goes on, but this is what goes on. For instance, the first one is they never sleep in their own bed, even for home games.
You're not allowed to spend the night with your significant other on away games or home games. For away games, they are obviously in a hotel, but if I choose to go to that same hotel, we're not allowed to be in the same room. And then home games, they also sleep in a hotel.
I didn't know that. That was kind of interesting to me.
Home games, yeah.
If she got home games, they do not sleep in their bed.
Bed check. Coaches do a bed check at 10p.
Correct, and they're at a hotel. Even their families stay back at home
just the night before the game,
the Saturday night, or the before the game, or the Wednesday night if you have a Thursday game. That was kind of interesting to me. Then she says, also, family members do have to pay for their tickets.
All your tickets to games, home and away, are not free. You have to pay for all of them. They are at a discounted rate, but they're not free.
Okay, so there's that.
All right.
And then she says also, if a family member, if your wife, if you have kids, they'll do daycare for you during the game.
Our stadium provides daycare for women with babies that if they want to drop them off, they have to be, I think, 6 to 8 months old, and then you drop them off before the game starts, and you pick them up fourth quarter.
Now you hear she's doing her makeup at the same time. She's up to the eyeliner now.
Her eyeliner on there.
Yeah, and so she's almost done, and she wants 2 more things. Once the game is over, you get a meal for the ride home.
After every game, they have food for the players to take home, so it'll be like Chick-fil-A or Mexican or Chipotle or something delicious.
Now, isn't that nice? They give a little Chick-fil-A on the way out the door at the end of the game. And then finally she finished up.
On Sundays?
On Sundays. Well, maybe Chipotle.
Where do they come from?
Maybe it's a Chipotle on a Sunday game.
Maybe it's a playoff game on a Saturday.
Maybe so. A Thursday night game, Monday night game. And then finally, how quickly after the game do players get film of the game?
After the game's over, they upload their film automatically to the player's iPad. So as soon as we go home, Fred watches the whole game over probably 3 times. That's all. Love you guys.
That's it. Huh. Love you guys, and it's over. That's
3 times.
Yeah. She says he watches the entire game 3 times. Probably just.
You would only watch like if you're a defensive player, the defensive series.
Yeah, that's what I would say. Yeah, and I bet it just cuts from play to play to play. As well. They don't.
Is that what the film guy cuts up for you?
Yep.
Yeah, as the game goes on, apparently, because it's immediately uploaded to your iPad.
Is that? I'd love to see. maybe Amazon with their coverage of football, or if we get a different someone else to broadcast the game. I want to see more of what's happening on the sidelines. I want to see what the players are looking at on the iPads. What is Patrick Mahomes doing when he's scrolling through the iPad?
Would they ever do that, or will that give the other team
too much?
Too much info.
Yeah, would the other team see it like in real time, and it gives too
They
much
probably
away?
do. They probably have a hold, because I used to film for football practices, and they would cut every single play up and just replay it after the game. I mean, with a professional team like that, they probably have dudes cutting it up after every series and uploading it to the iPad.
I'm sure you're
But
right.
I don't think fans will ever see it.
Yeah.
Because
not in real time, but I would love to see it.
Yeah.
But even if we saw it not in real time, would that give the next week's opponent an advantage to see what they're trying? I would love to see it also.
Yeah.
That'd
Were
be
you
great.
shooting video, BB Shea?
In college, I used to film practices for the football team.
That's terrific.
Yeah.
I like this. I like the cut of your jib.
Did it for free, too.
You did it for free.
Yeah.
Even better.
You didn't get credit?
Did you get gear?
No, didn't get anything. I just did it because I was bored.
Even better.
Yeah.
You did it. Yeah, I love it. I love it.
What can you bring to the team, son? I don't know.
Some enthusiasm, I guess.
Good, we're not paying you.
You're too small to be a player, obviously.
Yeah.
That perfectly round head, there's no helmet that would fit you. You're a safety hazard, son.
Really? They just shaved catamounts inside your head. You'd be just fine.
Were you shooting camcorder or mini cam?
No, it was like a big camera. I was up at the press box
Really?
shooting practice.
Shooting
yeah.
down on it.
Yeah.
I love it.
They asked me to get up on the scoreboard the first day.
Yeah.
I took 2 steps up the ladder. I was like, nah, fam.
You can't
Nah,
do
kid.
it.
Remember that? Was it 5 years ago that poor Notre Dame
Yeah.
camera person was killed?
Oh my God, that's right.
Was it lightning or did the thing
I think
collapse?
the wind got up and it kind of
That's
blew
right.
him over.
It collapsed.
God, that's right. I didn't know that was. That
could have been you.
That could have been
Could have been
you.
me,
That's
yeah.
good work that you were doing back there.
Yeah.
And
You
did
didn't even get a jersey or
No,
a
I didn't
sweatshirt?
get
They
anything,
didn't give you
no.
anything. They didn't give you
Yeah.
anything.
A ball, a job, nothing.
Way.
You put Rydell Helmet out of business, though.
I love
almost,
it.
If he'd have played.
I love the cut of your jib for doing that.
Yeah.
Let Biggie
don't know
miss
what that
one
means,
more
but-
day and let's see. Let's just see where it goes from there.